Disneyland Paris continues with their construction projects, and so we carry on with our construction update videos. In today's video, we'll go around the resort with high quality photos and videos to really dive into the latest when it comes to these projects, but also compare their progress with photos from previous updates, from Disney Village to the huge Walt Disney Studios expansion. Before we begin, 75% of viewers aren't subscribed, so if you enjoy my content and this video, make sure to leave a like and consider becoming one. You can find me over at Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and in the Discord community where theme park fans come together. Links are in the description. Very well then, let's start at Disney Village, where unfortunately there hasn't been much change since our last update in July. The soon-to-be LEGO store, the Disney Home store, and the Disney Lifestyle store have remained pretty much the same these past months. It's unclear why progress has suddenly stopped here, as Disney announced back in April that these would be open by the end of the year. If they want to keep that timeline, work needs to restart very soon. We've seen that some construction has happened behind these buildings, so perhaps it has something to do with structural issues, leaks, or even asbestos removal, as this used to be very popular back when the buildings were built. Either way, when this is complete, the works should be quite straightforward and fast, so hopefully it picks up nicely. Construction on the new security zones of Disney Village from the hotels continue, and new walls have been put up to carry on with the repaving of Village just by Rosalie Brasserie. The biggest change in the shopping and dining area of Disneyland Paris, however, is by far the ghost of Planet Hollywood. In our last update, the restaurant remained the same as when it had closed, but since, demolition has begun and we can see the famous globe has been dismantled. This will be the goodbye of this now iconic site when arriving at the resort. While the deconstruction of the restaurant happened, Disney announced what will replace it. In partnership with Groupe Bertrand, the same group behind Rosalie, the Royal Pub, and the Rainforest Cafe, Casa Giulia will rise from the ashes of Planet Hollywood. This will be a large-scale Italian restaurant offering classic Italian dishes with a gourmet twist to suit all tastes. The restaurant promises to use seasonal ingredients for a fresh menu. This 500 guest capacity over 2 floors will give great views of Disney Village and what sounds like a great menu. I believe the architecture of the building looks quite nice and will fit with the new concept for Village very well. It's set to open in 2026. Well then, let's make our way to Disneyland Park to check how the few projects happening here are going. At the back of the park, Storybook Land has reopened and has never looked so good. The whole area received a new coat of paint with the rails and lights all looking brand new, and of course a new pavement, continuing the amazing efforts that have happened all around the resort, which really elevates the experience and land compared to the previous concrete. As you've probably seen by now, the book was completely refurbished with a new design, and some scenes were changed with Le Pen de Conte de Fées ride with Winnie the Pooh up at the end and Frozen with the snow-topped peaks of North Mountain. Overall, it was a needed and well-done refurbishment of the area that makes it quite more enjoyable. It remains as one of the quieter and calmer parts of the park. Over on Main Street USA, works have been slow, but finally progress has been made on the new Casey's Corner Terrace. A sizable part of the left of Central Plaza has been walled off for several months now. This because there are 2 small projects going on here. One being a new character meet and greet location with a gazebo and small queue to shelter guests from the elements. The gazebo is nearly completely done, as you can see, with similar theming to that of other structures around Central Plaza, like the popcorn locations or the gardening house that holds the show equipment room. The second is the Casey's Terrace. Announced alongside the gazebo, this will offer more comfort while you eat those foot-long hot dogs. According to the concept art and permits, it'll be themed and fit Main Street quite well. So, as you can see here, the metal structure was installed some time ago, and now we're seeing theming being added as well. The reason why it took so long for the project to reach this stage could lie with the concrete and foundations, which you can clearly see the shape of in the ground. The roof of it has also started installation, however it doesn't look like what we saw in the concept nor model showcased by Imagineering, so we are still to see how the final product will look like. These works here are set to end by January of next year according to unofficial information, so it shouldn't be much longer for Casey's and the left side of Central Plaza to be rid of walls. Closer to the castle theater refurbishment continues. They're expanding its backstage and redoing the entire floors and some of the back walls where the projectors are located. The castle bridge also now has some walls, as there's been some damage caused by the fountains that should hopefully be fixed soon. Discovery Land is where we need to go next. Here, Hyperspace Mountain's backside is surrounded by walls and construction equipment. The whole side has a themed tarp hiding the works happening in this part of the facade. It's unclear what kind of works are happening, however, this appears to be much more than just the maintenance garage expansion we reported several months ago. According to the rumors, Disney is installing a completely new and hopefully more reliable lighting package. But still, it doesn't appear to be the only thing going on here. If we take a closer look at the construction, there's a plastic sealing everything, making me think they're refurbishing the facade with a brand new coat of paint. The large temporary stairway also leads to the top of the dome. This could be to reach and change its lights up there, such as the round neon blue ones or the sparkling that follows the trains. So while the scope of this project is unclear, it looks like it'll be quite a long time until Space Mountain gets rid of walls, and rumors about a major refurbishment to the ride itself are also appearing, saying a retrack could take place in the next few years. The same thing with Big Thunder Mountain, so we could be looking at these iconic rides having a lot of work done soon. Going back to space though, as you can see in these images, it's been needing quite a bit of care. The cannon is falling apart when you look close enough, so it's great to see they're starting some kind of large-scale project. I might have a Space Mountain video coming soon, so look out for that. Very well then, let's finally pass through the gates of Walt Disney Studios Park and see how everything is going over at the second gate of Disneyland Paris. Studio 1 remains closed, with no information of how far progress is inside. It closed down this April and shouldn't be ready to open until next spring. However, if we go to the other side of the large building, we see the new awning that will not only split the crowds, but also allow for much better light control inside the dimly lit world premiere, making it more immersive inside. The awning's metal structure is quite large, and being there in person really puts it in another perspective. This will also cover up the old studio green windows, and will then receive large posters of the shows to be found around the park, such as Mickey and the Magician and Together. This should move quite quickly into the final product, and will be sure to be a good change. After that, the World Premiere Plaza comes into play. Since our last update, not much has changed here. The works are mostly to do with the installation of new planters with trees and greenery, new lampposts, and the repavement of the whole area. We've seen the first part of the new areas to appear just by Cinemagic Theater, where new railings have been added not long ago in an Art Deco and Hollywood style. The walls have moved slightly, showcasing new parts of pavement, but overall there hasn't been much change, with only one slim corridor still connecting the two sides of the park. Over at Avengers Campus, the Theater of the Stars has closed for the season alongside Alice and the Queen of Hearts' Back to Wonderland show, meaning we'll have to say goodbye to the views of the expansion from that side. On Toy Story Playland, the works can be felt quite a bit, as a large new area themed to Toy Story is being built as a connection to Adventure Way, the large street leading to the lake. From RC Racer, we can see a wall has been built to the side of the queue. This is in fact to hold the large berm. This is something like 3 meters tall, and alongside the already planted trees will help a lot with the noise and the visual intrusion of RC from the tangled area that's just to the side of the berm. If we take to the skies, we can see these trees will truly separate Toy Story Playland from this area, which is great. While the wall is quite noticeable from the queue, bamboos are being planted as seen here, which will help to hide it. We can now also better make out the new part of Playland as seen here. The berm we just talked about is being expanded all the way to Adventure Way, which will also separate this new part and Tangled. Here, large figures of Woody and Jessie will be present, just like other theming elements such as the amazing Christmas lights, alongside a new meet and greet location for what will probably be characters from this world. I believe its foundations are what we can see here. From Toy Story Playland, we can see the top of the Tangled attraction, which wasn't there when we last talked. In fact, the progress made is quite great as the structure is nearing completion with all the roofs installed both in the queue and on top of the ride itself. In front of Repon's Tangled Spin are its gardens. The large pond, soon to have the boat recreating the famous scene, appears to be fully built, with some waterproofing already in place. The foundations of the planters have been installed as well. This will create a garden-like layout, with plenty of greenery. Back in July, none of this was in place. Neither the Toy Story expansion, nor the Tangled Gardens as you can see. And if we were to go slightly more back in time, here's the landscape this March. There was nothing there. No Tangled building, no Adventure Way, and no Toy Story. Well, let's turn to Adventure Way, the large promenade leading to Adventure Bay. There's been a lot of progress here. We see that a big portion of the pavements are already in place, with a gorgeous flower-like pattern already nearly built. The pavements then go all the way to the English Gardens. This is a huge difference since our last update 3 months ago. Alongside the sides, planters are in place, with many already having trees in them. Looking at all this from Parachute Drop, you really get the scale of everything. It's something we've never seen in Walt Disney Studios. Well then, the English Gardens now have a quite large berm with adult trees surrounding them. This place will have even more trees in it and a small gazebo in the stage, where pop-up shows are expected to happen. It doesn't have any flooring just yet. Moving forward, we see that the construction on the rest of the floors of Adventure Way continues, and that the base for what will be a large avenue connecting it to Avengers Campus and the Theater of the Stars has started being put in place, just like the other large planters. We eventually come across one of the pavilions around the lake. As you can see, it's nearing completion with all the roofs in place and the show control room, which will be on top of it, also progressing well. To refresh your memory, a large portion of the inside is reserved for staff, while it also offers guest restrooms and an indoor snack location. Outside, a seating area will also be present. Speaking of toilets, on the other side, after passing through the Regal View restaurant and Tangled ride, the guest restroom building is going nicely, with a good part of the theming already installed. Well, the Regal View restaurant, which will be one of the largest of the park and offer impeccable views of the lake, has progressed quite a bit too, with much of its roofs in a similar style to Tangled and the pavilions installed, as well as HVAC systems. From Cars Road Trip, we can see that there's still some work to be done here, but it really is progressing well. Now we get to Adventure Bay. The lake appears to be nearing its maximum water level, and all around it paths are being put in place and many lampposts alongside them. You can already see so many of these all around the lake. Then, the 3 large awnings have been placed. These can be seen in the models shared by Disney this D23 Expo. In fact, if you want to learn more about everything Disneyland Paris announced, make sure to watch this video here. Also installed around the lake were these Art Nouveau elements. These aren't just random pillars, in fact, they hold much of the show equipment for the future nighttime spectaculars in the lake. Also, note the different types of lampposts. Some have a box which is likely to be the speakers to play all kinds of sounds from background, parade, or show music. All around the lake, the walls and paths are themed, and near World of Frozen, one of the larger awnings has also appeared, and theming has started being installed. Closer to Cars Road Trip is the smaller pavilion. This that was just the bare concrete slabs in July as seen in this photo. Its roof is nearing completion, and much of the theming has been installed. Here's a closer look from the queue of Road Trip. These photos, taken by Skyam, are a couple of weeks old, but share a good look at the lake from Alice in Wonderland, with the small pavilion we just talked about, the awning in front of it, similar to the one by Frozen, and just all the activity going around Adventure Bay. Well then, let's finally get to World of Frozen. On the other side of Adventure Bay, on the shores of the lake, lies Arendelle. But before showing how it currently looks, let's quickly step back in time. In October 2022, exactly 2 years ago, this was how the Walt Disney Studios expansion looked like. Large dirt piles and a dugout hole where the lake would be. A year later, on September 30th, I took this photo. This is what the expansion looked like a year ago. The Tangled ride was a hole in the ground, the lake was nearing complete waterproof, and Arendelle was some concrete walls with beats of theming creeping through. No Regal View restaurant, no pavilions. Well, a year later, this is how everything looks like. What an incredible development. So, since July, what's new? Well, several buildings have been completed and no longer have scaffolding, starting with the castle itself, which looks like it already has many, if not all, of the ice decorations installed. Notice all the little details, it really looks incredible. The forced perspective buildings close to it are also complete, becoming smaller as they get closer to the castle. The port building between the marina and the village has also changed quite a bit, with the roofs now complete and starting to receive theming on the walls. The toy shop, the biggest merchandise location here, looks like it's complete too. However, that only needed some details back in July. Most importantly, the clock tower has finally been unveiled and looks gorgeous, and so do the smaller buildings to its left. This is part of the queue for Frozen Ever After. The other buildings are where most of the focus is now, but there's been quite a bit of development here too, especially in the ones to the left. There are still other buildings that haven't appeared, but should do so in the coming months, with one barely breaking through. When it comes to the mountain range, there's been a lot of development. The ones closer to the castle, which will also be closer to the guests, are not only completely shaped, but have also received much of the theming with paint and the grass. It's amazing to see it like this. A new big portion has gotten the concrete and its shape too, and should move to the next theming phase soon. To the left, nearly all the show building is hidden behind the metal structure, and the taller parts have also been installed, with a special mention of the North Mountain itself, which was put up there just some days ago. You can see the shape of the North Mountain for many locations around the park, and it really does look amazing. Disney Imagineering celebrated this milestone the other day and released these images that also give us a closer look at Arendelle itself. This is truly very exciting to see. When it comes to The Lion King, which Disney officially announced this summer, construction is set to start next year, so there won't be a huge wait like what happened with Frozen. The expansion was announced in 2018, but only began construction in 2022, this being the main reason as to why it's taken so long. The opening time frames for all we discussed here are still to be revealed. However, Disney announced World of Frozen won't open until 2026. The works are to finish by the end of 2025, but then comes a whole different step, from training cast members to testing all the equipment and the nighttime spectacular. There's still a lot to be done, and with everything Lion King coming soon, I'll be following it all right here, so join me! With that, we come to the end of the video, and now, as always, thank you for watching, and that's a wrap.